Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome into Knowles Field on the campus of the University of Pacific in Stockton, California. Jeff, Dominic, with you, thank you very much for joining us for this West Coast Conference matchup featuring the University of San Diego Toreros and the University of Pacific Tigers. Toreros coming in at 10-4-1, but have had a little bit of a struggle midway through conference play. Have lost to teams like LMU, St. Mary's, and Gonzaga consecutively, not necessarily that order. But coming in tonight at 10-4-1, while the Pacific Tigers at 4-9-1, have had a little bit of a struggle offensively. And for the visiting San Diego Toreros, they are led by head coach Brian Quinn in his second season as the head coach. Seamus McFadden and Mike Nicholson are the assistant coaches. And they are led on the field by Miguel Berry. He'll be heading things off in the complete starting roster. Matt Weir, Benji Sorman, Henry Lander, Aaron Frey, Amit Heffer, Ross Meldrum, Miguel Berry, as we just mentioned, Freddie Polzer, Chase Van Way, George West, and Chase Hoffinger. As the Toreros early on the attack will have it headed away by the defensive backline of the Tigers. Speaking of the Tigers, they are led by head coach Adam Reeves in his first season here at the University of Pacific. Brian Lanoy, Luis Trejo, both the assistant coaches, and the volunteer assistant coach David Molina. Tigers will send out Ethan Bondre in goal for the Tigers, Ryan Herr, Emery Rappaport, Andreas Haralambos, Jonathan Rico Contreras, Mo Kamasasanuki, Charles Brua, Cooper Riley, Jose Angel Reyes, Anthony Orendane, and Derek Roque. A little bit of a mixture, but a lot of young faces here for the Pacific Tigers as well. A couple of freshmen, in fact, including Emery Rappaport, Ryan Herr, a sophomore, Mo Kamasasanuki, a sophomore, Cooper Riley, a sophomore, Jose Angel Reyes, a sophomore, and then, of course, there's a lot of seniors as well, including the two players that really need to have a big night would be Andreas Haralambos, and there's going to be a big foul, and there's going to be a stoppage of play. Jonathan Rico Contreras looks like he's probably going to wait, double check, but there was a big flip and a lot of a collision between Rico and a player from San Diego, and I did not catch who that was. But San Diego wearing the light blue jerseys, dark blue shorts, and they will go from left to right, and the Tigers wearing the all-white, orange numbers, a little bit of black trim around the numbers, Pacific on the top of their backs. Player that just got up was George West, the redshirt junior from La Jolla, California. No yellow was issued on that. It was just, looked like it was just, really it was incidental in both players playing for the ball. So no card was issued, but this will definitely, it still affects the psyche a little bit as the Tigers will take the possession. Charles Brua in the back line for the Tigers. Will push it forward towards Derek Roque. Roque, a freshman from Southgate, California, will go on to the far side. Had it knocked away, and it will be cleared by the defense. And it looks like we're going to have our first corner kick of the evening, and that will be the Pacific Tigers that will do it. So it'll be Ryan Herr on the far end. And Herr and Haralambos are the two that will usually take that kick. This time it's Herr on the far side. Haralambos usually goes on the near side. That's a drive that goes towards the side. It goes in for a goal for the Tigers. It looks like that was Emery Rappaport. Emery Rappaport with the goal. So,
3-24-5 scored.
And you heard head coach Adam Reeves right near us. It was Emery Rappaport. For Emery Rappaport, I'm going to do a quick check, but I believe that's his first collegiate goal as a Tiger. That was scored in the 4th minute.
By number 24, Derek Roque, and number 3, Ryan Hurd. The time of the goal came in the 4th minute. Tigers 1, San Diego nothing.
So the assist will go to Roque and Derek Roque and Ryan Hurd. Hurd was the one with the corner kick. Roque kind of headed it in the box, and then Rappaport gave it to the Tigers' freshman defenseman. So on the near side is Cooper Riley, and making sure that I'm going to say his name the correct way all night. I know Mike is listening, his father listening in either on the feed or it might be in attendance tonight. You never know with the way he surprises everybody. But either way, it's good to catch up with him every now and then, and he gave me a hard time the last time that made a mistake. So making sure that I'm going to stay on top of my game as much as I can. But 1-0 here early on for the Tigers. A throw in on the near side by Sorman, headed towards Jonathan Rico Contreras, headed by Haralambos. Silos wears the orange captain band for the Tigers. As it's on the far side, and I believe that's Mo. Mo with a little bit of a juke. Has it knocked away, and then it cleared by the Toreros. You mentioned the Toreros have had a little bit of a struggle as the season has kind of drawn on in West Coast Conference play. One of them against a top ranked, well, actually in the top 10 ranked St. Mary's team. They are currently ranked number 9. Gonzaga and LMU, as that's taken away. And Anthony Orndane, the senior, has a lot of big speed and then trying not to go off sides, but also keep it in front of him was Derek Roque. Goes too far. It'll be another throw in for the Toreros. That is quickly kicked away off to the near side. Handball is wanted, but not granted by Ross Meldrum. Went underneath the 5-hole of Emery Rappaport, and on the near side is Barry. Couple of holds that went to go across the box, taken away by Silos. So actually Emery Rappaport took it, and then Silos wound up kind of turning and going off into the middle towards Ryan Hurd, and then Silos had it deflected and will take it back to Jose Angel Reyes. Jonathan Rico Contreras, a little bit of a scoot. Tried to get it over towards the top of the box. Coop. Coop had a chance to last year play with his then senior brother, Cam Riley. I remember talking to Cam last season just before senior day and asked him what a kind of a thrill that was, and he says he kind of in a little bit, paraphrasing a little bit, is as much as you would think that brothers spending a lot of time together would get tired of each other, he really relished the opportunity and had a great time playing with his brother Coop. Both Cooper and Cam at one point in time were also playing hockey as well as a little bit of a two-sport athlete. Chose soccer and kept on continuing on with that, as there's a little bit of a line drive kick that went off, grazed off the head of Anthony Orndane, and looking for another header that went a little too strong across the box and will go out of play for a throw-in for the Toreros. Knocked away, and it'll be cleared out, and the Tigers will actually get a throw-in here. Cooper Riley, that will throw it in to Ryan Hurd. Her backs it off, gets it to Jonathan Rico Contreras. That's lofted in between three Toreros, headed by Anthony Orndane right at Silos. Tried to go in, and then Ryan Herr had it taken away. The Toreros right at the circle have it taken away once again. Jose Angel Reyes on that far side. A big tackle, and it'll be a foul deep in Torero territory. So the Tigers really attacking here early on. The Toreros kind of gave them a couple of jabs in the first few minutes, but then the Tigers, right at that after that corner kick, really have attacked. And this is almost just like another corner kick. Emery Rappaport on the near side of the scrum will back it off. We're waiting the free kick. Ryan Herr's on that far side. There's a line drive that is headed up. Settled around and finally cleared out by a defender for the Toreros. Charles Brua, the only one closest by, will keep it up and give it to Silos. That is cleared out, and throw-in coming up. The throw-in comes inside to Jose Angel Reyes. A line drive, and another foul. And it's going to be exactly another corner, almost another free kick, but over the near corner, far corner side. The Tigers have spent a lot of time in Torero territory. But for Emery Rappaport, he gets the Tigers on the lead, in the lead early. That was in the 4th minute, and that was his first goal of the season as a Tiger. That's her, and then on the far side, that will get lifted, and that will go in for the Tigers. And I don't really recall on who that one went in, and it looked like there was a cleanup afterwards, so I don't know if the cleanup was going to be counted or if it was going to be the initial. But the Tigers will take the lead or continue on the lead, 2-0 in the 11th minute. So the goal goes to Ryan Herr.
The Tiger goal scored by number 3, Ryan Herr.
So he gets an assist and a goal. And the Tigers leading 2-0. That is deflected off of Jonathan Rico Contreras, and Cooper Riley keeps it alive for the Tigers. And on the near side was Benji Sorman, who'll get it in front towards Barry. Barry had it taken away, a nice deflection off of a couple of guys. And Anthony Orndane, the senior, pushed it forward, and Jose Angel Reyes will get it on the far side. Will slow it down, wants to get the rest of his team together. Jonathan Rico Contreras over towards Silos. Haralambos deflects it, keeps it over towards Mo. Just enough. Tigers keep it alive. Jonathan Rico Contreras over towards Roque. Roque backs it off. Now Silos right at midfield. And we're finding a gap on the Torero's far side as it's Jose Angel Reyes. And that's going to be a foul again. And that's the 3rd time that the Tigers have been fouled on that far side. This one a little bit more towards the middle of the Torero's territory. We're in the 13th minute, 2-0 our score, and it'll be Ryan Herr that will do the honors. That one's away. That one's in front. That one is right at Weir. And Weir this time was on his toes. Coach Adam Reeves wanted a handball. Weir will shift it off towards Sorman and headed forward. Cooper Riley takes it away. Derek Roque, a little bit of a head of steam. He'll go towards the near side, across the box, and it'll actually be deflected off of the Toreros. Sorman near it. And it was intended for Amit Heffer. Jonathan Rico Contreras did a good job boxing him out and took it away off in the middle. Looks like that's Jonathan Rico Contreras, the way his footwork kind of get used to it. A throw in for the Tigers. Slowing it down was Jose Angel Reyes. Looks like we're already going to have our first substitution. Cameron Kamerly will come in. Another foul on the Toreros. Coaching staff for the Tigers were kind of mentioning exactly what I happened to be kind of keeping an eye on, which was the same area keeps accruing a foul. This time the Tigers slowed it down. Backing it off to Bondre. Bondre to Silos. Back to Bondre. A little bit of line drive kick towards Cooper. And Emery Rappaport with a nice deke in and wound up keep on the possession. Had it for a moment. Clearing it out was Jonathan Rico Contreras. Toreros now looking having a little bit of sign of life for a moment. Taken away. Derek Roque trying to give a give and go. Toreros take it back. And on the near side is Heffer. Shifting it over to Sorman. And a give and go. Sorman along with Barry. Correction. That is Meldrum. And the sub for the Toreros will come in. Mitt Heffer will sit. Coaching staff for the Toreros having a conversation with Heffer right now. I think they were seeing something. That pass intended for Jonathan Rico Contreras was dangerous. And now the Toreros will take it over. Kamerly will get it towards the far side. A 1v1 for the Toreros. Looking for a cross. That goes and gets cleared out by the Tigers. And pushed back. And Derek Roque charging hard and actually gave a little bit of pressure to the Toreros' back defensive line. Kamerly had it taken away. The pass was a little too strong. Now it's Ryan Herr. Herr kind of slowed his momentum, backed off at the top of the box. Herr had it, and then 3 Toreros took it away. Kamerly gets it to Rappaport. Shifting all the way to the far side. That's Jose Angel Reyes. And another foul. Cooper Riley to Jonathan Rico Contreras. Jonathan Rico Contreras was matched up against Ross Meldrum. Meldrum thought he got spiked just for a moment. Those initial, hey, that hurt. And the clock will be stopped, and that's Jose Angel Reyes down once again. Actually, Derek Roque, excuse me, that's Derek Roque. Yellow card's being issued. I believe that was on Aaron Frey.
Yellow card issued to the Toreros, number 6, Aaron Frey. Card came in the 18th minute.
So a free kick by Silos. Silos will just get it over towards Jonathan Rico Contreras and then backing it over towards Rappaport. Now Jonathan Rico Contreras has a little bit of room, so he heard the coaching staff call turn. Just get him going. Silos winds up back with it, down to Rico. Rico towards the far side, that is Jose Angel Reyes, and he'll cross the box. And that's headed in the air still. It's still dangerous. And finally a foul. There's going to be a stoppage.
What? He just pushed him. No reason, Quinny. You're going to set an NCAA record for fouls at this rate. Guys, no, we're not doing this today. I'm not doing this. That's your job. Worry about your group.
And
worry about your group, my man. Nobody's talking to you. Worry about your group.
The coaching, both sides are kind of upset about some of the fouls that have kind of gone on, and the referees are doing a great job actually to keep them separate. At the moment, they're still kind of going back and forth, but Jonathan Rico Contreras had it for a second and actually had a little bit of room if he could have just gotten a little bit more inside. I'm going to say that was Barry a little bit frustrated. That was deflected off of him. It'll be a throw-in for the Tigers. Tigers lead 2-0, and we're only in the 19th minute. Coaching staff was, for the Tigers, were just surprised on how many fouls were being committed on the Toreros. Rua. And get it to Rappaport. And Cooper. Riley goes outside. Nice move. Cooper has a little bit of room. We'll get it over inside to Mo. Mo to her. Her a little bit of a 4-on-3 if they hurried. Orendane backed it off. Now it goes to Jonathan Rico Contreras. Now Jose Angel Reyes. Back to Rico. Coach Adam Reeves was not happy about that sequence. Probably had a little bit more room on the inside if they would have pushed it. Jose Angel Reyes fell down, got up, still stayed with it. Was kind of surprised that it was still right at his feet. Jose Angel Reyes. So it's on the far side, and then it will be pushed over towards Coop. Cooper to her. Her on the inside. Nice move towards Coop. Had it for a second. Taken away by the Toreros. And Matthew Berry amongst others. Emery Rappaport did a good job against Berry. Silos backs it off, gives it to Brua. Tigers were in a 3-man defensive line. Bondre gets it on the near side to Rappaport. Rappaport goes inside. Now to Silos. Silos turns and will go ahead towards her. Her pushes it towards Orendane. Orendane has the speed. If he can get around his defender, able to. Little dribbler down on the ground. And for a moment, the Tigers had two players at the box. Chest high pass will go towards Brua. Silos will take it, and now the Tigers will play on in Toreros territory. Tigers have spent a lot of time in the Toreros territory. At Rappaport. Now we'll get it to Coop. Riley continues on with it. Still dribbling with it. Finally, and Cooper Riley just went down. And just for a moment, Cooper Riley, I think he might have gotten hit with the shin or maybe in the back of the calf, but Cooper Riley kind of went down after he was able to get that pass away. And it looks like that they're going to play on here. Cooper Riley will back it off. So Coop looks fine, and it'll be Rappaport that will push it forward. Derek Roque was trying to get it a little give and go with him and Mo. Weir will get it to the near side for the Toreros.
Yeah, put his head down. Put his head down. Good.
Anthony Orndale with the opportunity. Matthew Berry with a good job with opportunity. Good job by Rappaport, was able to get it out of bounds and let the Tigers get back on defense to push together. Far side was George West would get it to the far side. Toreros backed it off and will get the three-man defensive line back up over here on the near side. Is Kamerly. Kamerly to Sorman, and it had it deflected and last touched by the Tigers. Be a corner kick on the near side. Potentially could be Hoffinger. So that was towards the top of the box. And many players in a scrum. One player for the Toreros went down, got right back up pretty much after everyone kind of cleared out. Hoffinger. That might have been an inverted kick. Herr went down for a moment. On the far side, the Toreros try and get it towards the far side box, and it was a little bit of a flip kick. Last touched by the Tigers. Another corner kick. This time will be on the far side. I believe that'll be Hoffinger once again that will do it. Hoffinger, excuse me, Hoffinger. That's towards the box. No one was, it was headed by a Torero, but the Tigers were pretty much more the ones in the vicinity of that corner kick. That will be knocked out of play. On his way back. Expressing a little bit of frustration was Aaron Frey. Frey was also the recipient of the yellow card earlier. Goal kick up coming for Ethan Bondre and the Pacific Tigers. They're already wanting to make sure the pace of play is set up. That is headed forward by Silos, and then that was in the vicinity of. There's an opportunity. Derek Roque shot. Goal for the Tigers. '25th minute, Derek Roque. And they're going to give Mo Kamasasanuki the assist. And the Tigers lead 3-0, and we're just barely ticking through the midway point of the first half.
Assisted by number 11, Mo Kamisasanuki. The goal came in the 25th minute. Tigers 3, Toreros 0.
And we're already early on. The Tigers with 4 shots, 1 corner kick, while the Toreros have not had a shot, 1 save, and 2 corner kicks. Sorman on the near side wanted a pass towards him. It'll go towards the far side. It looks like that's Barry. Cleared out by Silos. Ryan Herr kind of headed it backwards. That is going towards the box, and it was cleared out. Last touched by the Tigers. A throw in on the far side for the Toreros upcoming. They're going to stop the clock. There was nobody in the area to get a ball over towards the far side. There's the, I'm not sure where that one actually, it might have been the one that was cleared away. So the throw-in gets the time started back up. It's on the near side will be Sorman. The Toreros go from left to right. Sorman with a fake actually got the senior Anthony Orndane jumping in the air. Derek Roque on the near side. That is cleared out. Last touched by the Toreros, but the Toreros bench was up in arms. There's going to be a stoppage here. A yellow card is going to be issued on to number 22 for the Toreros, Cameron Kamerly. And now the middle referee is coming in, and I think he's had enough.
Yellow card issued to the Toreros number 24, Cameron. Correction, number 22, Cameron Kamerly.
I think a warning's been issued. There's going to be a change. And they're going to sub the yellow. So Kamerly's going to go ahead and have a seat, and Pedro Andrade will come in.
Enter the pitch, number 16, Pedro Andrade.
And referees still trying to keep control of this match. It will be the Tigers' possession. Cooper Riley on the near side will get it inside towards her. Her backs it off. We'll get it towards Jonathan Rico Contreras. Rico will get it and shift it towards Brua. A little bit of off-target pass, but Brua stays with it. Of course, he was the only one at the time that was nearby. Her will go inside. And we'll get it to Jose Angel Reyes. Was looking for Mo. And out of bounds and a throw-in for the Tigers. Jonathan Rico Contreras will back it off. He'll get it to Jose Angel Reyes. Jose Angel Reyes tried a little bit of a move, was knocked away. And the Toreros did a good job just keeping it in front of him. We'll take it back. The Tigers try to converge. The Toreros stay with it. And a foul on the Toreros. On the far side, it looks like Jose Angel Reyes. Gets it to Bondre. Bondre clears it deep over towards Mo. Headed in the air, settled at the feet of Silos. Silos to Mo. Mo needs to back it out. Will get it backed out. Get it over to Silos, and then shifting over towards Rappaport. Rappaport with a little bit of space, gets it into Roque. Roque to Cooper. Cooper over towards Orndane. On the near side, Orndane comes inside. Couple of moves, and we'll go too far, wide right and high. Orndane with the opportunity. Sorman on the near side. We'll get it to Andrade. And then now here comes Barry. Gets it knocked away by Orndane. The quick feed of Orndane knocks it away. It gives the Tigers an opportunity to go ahead and clear up on defense. Andrade. A deep outlet pass will go towards Barry. But Rappaport, even though he's just a freshman, he's actually really watched him grow over this whole season. That time there was with the senior against the senior like Barry, was able to box him out, and time's gonna be called middle referee wants to get things, keep the pace of play is all that they're going to be talking about. Derek Roque winds up with it. Tries to get it to her. And Toreros converge on him and will take it away. Sorman on the near side. He'll go ahead and face off against Jonathan Rico Contreras. Hits him on the backside of his right shoulder. Thrown away. And a throw in upcoming for the Toreros. Sorman will do it. Sorman, good job. A little bit of give and goes up over here on the near side. Polzer had it taken away by Anthony Orndane, and it's going to be Jose Angel Reyes. Long outlet pass, looking for Roque. Toreros cross midfield. We're in the 31st minute. 3-0 our score. The Tigers with offense has really been the attack, and Anthony Orndane had a chance there to take it away and give the Tigers an opportunity. Throw in goes into Sorman. Taken away by Anthony Orndane. Sorman. Nice job by Silo. Silo stays with it. A foul will be on the Toreros. That was Polzer once again. Polzer has been active over the last couple of minutes here. Jose Angel Reyes on the weak side. Will go ahead and clear it past midfield. A little bit ahead of steam. Slows it down. Waits for the rest of his teammates to show up. Get it towards Silos right at midfield. Rappaport looking for her. Her keeps fighting. Keeps on with it, and a good job by Ryan Herr, who's enjoying a goal and an assist already tonight. Looking for Jose Angel Reyes. Knocked away right at midfield. The throw in for the Toreros. So Toreros on the far side. The Toreros will go ahead and tear down the far side. Cleared out by Charles Brua. Brua was not in the lineup in the last home match. For the Tigers, I believe that was against LMU that the loss was in overtime. There's one towards the box and headed away by the Tigers for a moment. Sorman on the near side. Get it towards the box, and that one's headed away by Jonathan Rico Contreras, and he'll just drop kick it deep into the Toreros side of the line. Andrade goes to on the near side. Thought it was about to go out of play. I think that's Cooper Riley. Gets it cleared towards Rappaport. And it was pushed forward by Jonathan Rico Contreras. Toreros get it towards Barry. Now Sorman winds up with it. Sorman back to Barry. Give and go. Sorman winds up with it. It goes towards the box, and actually at the top, cleared out for a moment by the Tigers. Nearest near it was Derek Roque. Sorman on the near side. Pulls there, and then now Sorman. Sorman across the box. Headed by Brua. And headed forward by the Tigers. As Mo over to Jose Angel Reyes. 35th minute, 3-0 our score. The Tigers really have put the Toreros early on their heels. 3 goals, one of them on a corner kick by Ryan Herr. Derek Roque headed it more towards the center of the box, and then Rappaport headed it in. Ryan Herr had a goal in the 11th minute. That was unassisted. And then Derek Roque had a goal, and Mo Kamasasanuki finished it off. Ryan Herr goes down. Harlambos, right through the middle, gives it to Coop. Coop to Orndane. It's a nice move. Orndane stays with it. Across the box. Headed in the air. And chest high pass. Winds up towards Silos. Taken away by the Toreros. Pulls there. Then to Barry. Down to Jonathan Rico Contreras. Rico wants to play forward. He continues on with it. And give it towards Mo. Long line drive shot. Saved by Weir. Six shots, 1 corner kick for the Tigers. No shots, 2 corner kicks, 2 saves for the Toreros. As we've hit the 30s, we're in the 36th minute, I should say. 3-0 our score. Happen to be hearing a conversation over towards the table about some of the best candies in the world, or best Halloween candies to have. Some I'm hearing Heath Bar as well as 100 grand, and I don't know, I think I'd just go with the original like Snickers or Milky Ways myself, but Cooper Riley and Torero's with it on the right at the midfield line. On the far side is Andrade. Across the box, cleared out by the Tigers. Derek Roque goes inside. A little bit of opportunity. Passes it to her. Nice pass. Finds Jose Angel Reyes. Backs it off. And the Silos will communicate. Will get it inside. Looking for Mo. Jose Angel Reyes fell down once again, and I think he would have kept with it. He might have had a opportunities. Tigers stay with it. There's a lot of action going on that far side. Finally, a foul will be called on the Tigers, and a free kick in Torero territory. Crowd on the far side must have seen something. I didn't catch anything, but the Tigers applying the pressure on the far side. Emery Rappaport heads it forward. And Cooper Riley, good job boxing out Matthew Berry once again. Sorman with a nice back heel kick. Trying to find Poser. Rappaport winds back up with it. Back to Sorman. Andrade. This is to Poser across the box. And push forward towards her. Her looking for Roque. Nobody around. A throw in by Lander. Gets it over towards West. And on the far side, a lot of physical play on that far side. A foul will be applied on the Tigers. Looks like Jose Angel Reyes. So much like what the Tigers had experienced early on in this half, the Toreros have now an opportunity on the far side. Tyus Sather come in. Free kick, a little bit of a wall. Three-man wall, it looks like. That is lifted right towards Bondre. Bondre just punched it, and a foul on the Toreros. .41 minute, 3-0 our score, and the Toreros were able to apply their first shot. Head coach Adam Reeves screaming to his team to manage the half. Tigers with it. Goes Cooper Riley now to Rappaport. Silos. Andreas Haralambos getting into Mo. Mo stops right after he passes midfield. Points at his teammates to get a little direction going. And on the far side, Jose Angel Reyes tried to go inside, had it taken away. Also, Brady Graff will come in for the Tigers. Toreros. Catch it on the near side of Andrade. Gets it to Sorman. And then backing it off to Lander. Lander, a little bit of a line drive. And a little bit too strong. Will go right to Bondre. Coach Adam Reeves asking his senior Anthony Orndane if he was okay. And of course, Orndane, tough to take him off the field. He's, of course, exclaimed, "Yeah, I'm good." Jonathan Rico Contreras, get it to Coop on the near side. Derek Roque was the intended target. Mateus waiting to come in there. Waiting for the throw in, and now Mateus, Sather, and Brady Graff both will come in. Ryan Herr taking a much needed rest along with Derek Roque. So that throw in goes towards Orndane. Now Cooper Riley. A little bit of a give and go. And Sather was actually right there. That might have been actually a handball right there. Cooper Riley with the clear out. Goes off to Frey. And Lander. Now to Sorman. And a foul on Cooper Riley. So it'll be Polzer. We're in our 44th minute. It'll be Polzer that will take this off towards the top of the box. And that is headed around. Finally, Mo with a back kick. Pushes it down. And that will go out of play. So finally, 1 minute. they're going to throw it, and it's going to be.
Ref, hey, then do the foul from the right spot here. Okay, be consistent.
So that was a play by Cooper Riley. Cooper kept going forward, and the referee called the blew the whistle, saying that he was not in the right spot after many times being told that he was needing to back it off. So the Toreros, with the 20 seconds left in this half, will go on the attack, and cleared out by Coop. Sather, and then Silos will push it further back.
7, 6, 5.
My name is Brinley Barthels.
Jonathan Rico Contreras winds up at his feet, and that will end the first half. But the Tigers will
Your first half score, the Tigers
have a little bit
0.
of an opportunity to enjoy themselves right now,
We have members of our Tiger team walking around with
and they have a
today. To collect
3-0 lead. And of course, the Toreros, who came into tonight at 10-4-1, have had a little bit of a tough go and have been really on the back of their heels. Scoring started early, and that was by Emery Rappaport off of a corner kick on the far side. Ryan Herr had it all across the box. Derek Roque headed it towards the center of the box, and Emery Rappaport, Ian Rappaport, of course, a NFL insider. Emery Rappaport, however, plays for the Pacific Tigers, and he headed it into the back of the net. Ryan Herr had a goal as well, and that was in the 11th minute. Derek Roque also had a goal in the 25th minute, and he was assisted by Mo Kamasasanuki. So at halftime, the Pacific Tigers lead this one 3-0 over the San Diego Toreros, and that will take the break. And we will be back with the second half of play momentarily here from Knowles Field on the campus of the University of Pacific in Stockton, California on the WCC Network.
My name is Brinley Barthels. I came to Pacific because I was actually looking at water polo programs, and it was one of the better programs in the state. And they also had a great science program. So their biology and chemistry departments especially were very rigorous, and something that I knew would prepare me well for my future. When I visited the school, I saw a lot of chemistry labs and the opportunity for people to do research in the chemistry department, and that was something I was really excited about. My research, when I started, we began with peptide synthesis. So basically taking these small building blocks called amino acids, putting them all together and forming long chains. So Alzheimer's in particular is manifested because peptides are created at different lengths. So we are able to take those peptides, recreate them in the lab, and analyze their function and factors that make them non-functional. So my grandma was diagnosed with Alzheimer's a couple years ago, so it's extremely personal to me that, you know, I'm able to take this research that I'm doing and apply it back to my own life. It's humbling and also exciting that I am able to do these small experiments and look at these small peptides and know that somewhere, somehow, someone is going to take my research or the research that my lab is doing and use it on something bigger like these diseases. Prospective freshmen come in and they're asking, well, why should we choose Pacific? You know, what's the academics like? And the first thing I say every time is that the research aspect in the chemistry department especially is very unique. I know a lot of people that go to different schools in California or even in the United States that have never set foot in a research laboratory. The opportunities presented here are extremely important and extremely unique to Pacific. And everyone that asks me, I say the best part about this school is the research aspect, definitely.
You know if my granddaughter's coming back soon?
We will check with the nurse and see when they saw her last and see if they're here, and we'll let you know.
So today we're doing the simulation lab where we're using all of our mannequins in the lab, simulation on a heart failure patient as well as a patient who has had stroke. So we're working together with pharmacy students as well as speech pathology students in order to give a collaborative team effort towards advancing patient care.
It's really vital for them to know who to approach for what in the healthcare system, and that's usually clear for nurses and for physicians, but for the rest of the healthcare professions that are working in direct patient care, it's not that clear. So what we wanted to do was get them to collaborate early on so they can really start leaning on each other when they go out into real practice.
I think it's important for growing new relationships with other healthcare programs and having us see what the other programs do, because sometimes in the field we don't get to see what physical therapists do.
So these mannequins they're called high fidelity mannequins, and they can simulate lung sounds, heart sounds. The patient can obviously talk. In this case, it's really nice to be able, for PT students in particular, to be able to lift the mannequin out of bed and do some of those maneuvers.
But they can also do all of the vital signs. So heart rate can really fluctuate up and really low. So being able to act on our feet and be able to react to that efficiently, this simulation trains us for that. Saturation's dropping, so knowing when we can disconnect lines and put them on a different lead of oxygen is really beneficial, as well as just adapting to the bed, because if someone does go into cardiac arrest, we know how to adapt that bed efficiently.
This is a great experience to actually get to use our own knowledge and use it in a real-life practice. It's great to recommend different medications and see how that affects our simulation, and how other healthcare professionals use that information in their own practices as well.
My name is Yifeng Guo, and I'm a freshman at University of the Pacific, and my major is computer science.
My name is Asif Majidi. I'm an international student from Afghanistan. I'm a junior studying here at the business school, majoring in finance and marketing.
My name is Ali. I'm from Iran. I'm getting my master in data science in San Francisco campus of the University of the Pacific.
UOP is in the California, and also it's near Silicon Valley. So it's very easy for me to find a job because my major is computer science.
You get to work in team. Other than class, it's a work environment, and it's almost as formal as a real job. You get exposed to work and different projects, and you get to know a lot of people.
One of the main reasons of selecting UOP is that UOP is in the Bay Area, near to Silicon Valley. To be honest, in the Bay Area there are a lot of giant companies that we can work with these companies, so I selected UOP.
University really helped me a lot because we have a class called Live and Grow, kind of a class that helping international students to set up their goal and helping them to familiar with American culture.
So we, the business school has a lot of strong connections with different companies in Silicon Valley and across California. So we mostly when there's a conference, we just go and attend the conference, and there are guest speakers that we go and listen and learn and ask questions.
Education in the U.S. and graduation from a U.S. university would make us a lot of opportunities for our future careers.
You can get a new networking, new study experience, and learn a new language, and get used to a new culture. So it's a fresh start.
There's a through ball to Anderson. 1 versus 2. Anderson makes another move, takes a shot, and scores!
Take a bow, Joel Anderson. This is just a fabulous individual performance play here. Just a little deception.
Top of the box. D'Aquila has a touch in the box with the left foot, and she scores! D'Aquila, the freshman, gives Santa Clara the lead.
This is a brilliant goal. D'Aquila at a tough angle. What a game, Trey, this has been.
Serves it back in. Ball takes a bounce, the header, and the winner. Portland wins it in overtime. And the celebration is on.
Whipped in. Comes off Charlagi. And right there, Jake Rudel, St. Mary's with the opening goal.
High off the wall, covered behind the back line by Lyman. And that will be a chill.
Lander rebounds out from Meldrum and puts it right back into Van Way. A good ball, a rip, and an absolute cracker off the left foot. Chase Van Way, the equalizer. And now one back, a mistake by Aaron Frey, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Weir is down, the run continues, and it's a goal for Gonzaga.
It's going to be Zatarin. Oh, and it's just punched away. What a save by Ruben Steiver.
It'll be Reyes. And he scores!
Golazo from Jacobo Reyes finding the top corner on the set piece. The freshman, it's a quality strike.
When you attend the Jose Hernandez Reach for the Stars Academy, you can count on a pretty special guest speaker during the 4 weeks of classes and activities, and that's former astronaut Jose Hernandez.
Perseverance is you never, ever, ever, ever give up on yourself. Never give up.
As a boy watching astronauts reach the moon, Jose told his parents that's what he wanted to do. As an adult, he began the academy for kids with the same passion for learning.
In my case, I just needed a medium from which to sort of grow, and we're providing that medium for these kids because at my age, when I was a kid, we lacked it, and so you sort of had to do it on your own and had to be very self-initiated.
The activities, like putting a marble through a roller coaster of insulation and tape, are meant to be fun.
Some of you have disconnected roller coasters, which is great.
But there's a lot of learning going on here as well.
For this section, we're learning physics. For physics, it's stuff like acceleration, and you have to have the right momentum.
Our curriculum is a college curriculum, so they cover physics, logic, pre-engineering, algebraic structures, aeronautics. So they cover a lot of topics that they don't typically get in high school and wouldn't get until they come to college.
I chose to do this because it's better than staying at home being on video games, and I'd much rather get an education.
The academy takes place at University of the Pacific, and if it just happens, some of these kids are back here a few years down the road continuing their math or science interests, well, that's by design.
And we expose the kids to a university environment so that, you know, a university isn't something strange to them that they're going to be afraid of. They know exactly what a campus looks like.
My parents didn't force me to come here. They let me choose, and I chose to come here because I wanted a better opportunity at learning and not forgetting and doing nothing during the summer. It's fun.
When you walk throughout campus, like it's almost one of those campuses where everybody kind of smiles at each other. It's just welcoming. Everybody's so welcoming. I feel like I'm coming home.
One of the big strengths of Pacific is the small class sizes. I feel like I know all of my professors and that they know me.
I hear stories all the time from people at the big brand name schools and how they wish that there was more personal interaction.
I really like the environment that I felt at Pacific from like the first day at the Stockton campus. I just really felt like the professors actually knew who I was.
It's family to me, and I can hardly wait to get up in the morning and get in my car and come over here and then see my friends, my colleagues, the students. They become family to me.
The students know that we care, that they matter in the classroom, and we know each of them by name.
We realize that our first responsibility is to our students, and we have always taken that responsibility very seriously. So our first responsibility is teaching, our second responsibility is scholarship. It's not the other way around here.
When you walk throughout campus, like it's almost one of those campuses where everybody kind of smiles at each other. It's just welcoming. Everybody's so welcoming. I feel like I'm coming home.
One of the big strengths of Pacific is the small class sizes. I feel like I know all of my professors and that they know me.
I hear stories all the time from people at the big brand name schools and how they wish that there was more personal interaction.
I really like the environment that I felt at Pacific from like the first day at the Stockton campus. I just really felt like the professors actually knew who I was.
It's family to me, and I can hardly wait to get up in the morning and get in my car and come over here and then see my friends, my colleagues, the students. They become family to me.
The students know that we care, that they matter in the classroom, and we know each of them by name.
We realize that our first responsibility is to our students, and we have always taken that responsibility very seriously. So our first responsibility is teaching, our second responsibility is scholarship. It's not the other way around here.
I've always wanted to come here since I was little. And I remember I would pass by here when I was younger. We would come and take pictures or come for tours when I was like in middle school. And I was like, whoa, this is amazing. I was just in shock by the buildings themselves and the history of UOP and the people within it. It was just a beautiful place that I dreamt of. I thought maybe one day if I work really, really hard and I'm truly good at what I do, I might be able to get in, and I'm here and I love it. Hi, my name is Lila Valencia and I'm a fine arts major here at UOP, and this is my art studio.
About to get you ready here for the second half of this West Coast Conference play for the University of San Diego Toreros and the University of Pacific Tigers. Jeff, Dominic, with you, thank you very much for hanging out with us on a Saturday night, which tonight started off at about, came out here, helped set up, and it was 82 degrees. Now all of a sudden it's dropped dramatically. Tigers lead this one 3-0. And they will go from left to right, wearing the all-white, orange numbers and orange in, black trim on the numbers. Toreros will go from right to left, wearing the light blue jerseys that kind of shade into a darker blue and dark blue shorts as well. Tigers lead this one 3-0, and that was early and often where was the action got started. Emery Rappaport scored the first goal for the Tigers. That was in the 4th minute. Got his first collegiate goal. And Rappaport was assisted by Derek Roque and Ryan Herr. Looks like that the clock may have had a little bit of a malfunction. I was watching the referee here in front of us, the clock being stopped.
The clock. 72.
Hey, Coach Adam Reeves was happening to be, they're focusing on the clock at the moment. And head coach Adam Reeves says, it's 73rd minute. Ryan Herr got the second goal for the Tigers. He got his goal, his first collegiate goal as well. He got that in the 11th minute. That was unassisted. And in the 25th minute, Derek Roque got a goal, and he was assisted by Mo Kamasasanuki. And for Derek Roque, I want to take a quick glance at some of the stats of the season. And for Roque, had his 3rd goal of the season. So the Tigers are keeping an eye on the clock since there's a little bit of a malfunction. They're going to go ahead and turn it off and reset it. Ethan Bondre on the near side. I think they wrote everything down. But the fouls were also part of the big issue, and that really started with the San Diego Toreros. They actually committed quite a few fouls that affected the way that the Tigers played, because they were able to get great opportunities. 7 fouls, and I believe 5 of them were in their own territory. Is on the near side is Jose Angel Reyes. We'll get it to Silos, Andreas Haralambos, then Charles Brua, and then we'll swing it around to Emery Rappaport, who we just mentioned got his first collegiate goal as a Tiger. Get it to Cooper Riley, and then in the middle, Jonathan Rico Contreras. Mo Kamasasanuki as well is in that lineup. A couple of other Tigers still in. Brady Graff, as well as Mateus Sather. Mo Kamasasanuki on the near side. Asked him, his actual name is Mamora, but he prefers to go by Mo, and we will oblige that. As Jose Angel Reyes Was knocked down, but last touch by the Toreros. Tigers defense as well has been pretty solid. They've actually been keeping Matthew Berry at bay. There's a play right up in the top of the box, and Berry winds up with it, and it's going to be 4 Tigers that actually converged and were able to take that away from Berry. Berry looked around, thought he was going to get fouled, did not. Jonathan Rico Contreras continues to play on for the Tigers. Is up onto the center is Mo, and Mo went inside when the play went outside. Toreros with it. They come on the near side. Looking for Van Way. Will actually just go down the center and on the far side. That is deflected by Bondre. That's dangerous. Staying with it. Tigers get it back. Toreros wind with it on the far side, and the scrum off in the middle. Gets it to Mo. Mo will back it off and give it to Silos. Silos, excuse me, that Jose Angel Reyes will get it to Jonathan Rico Contreras. And Silos. Now to Jose Angel Reyes. Mo tried to get a long pass and was actually taken away. Matthew Berry against Jose Angel Reyes. Throw in by the Toreros. Goes into Meldrum. Meldrum off towards the top of the box. Had it cleared for a second. Toreros with it. Shot. Goal for the Toreros. The goal will go to Alex Chernis. And the assist was Paul Ramlow.
Torero goal scored by number 27, Alex Chernis. Assisted by number 23, Paul Ramlow. That goal came in the 51st minute.
A couple of names we haven't mentioned that are in the lineup for the Toreros. Oh, they're going to change the assist, and it's actually going to go to, the assist goes to Marmion. So 3-1 our score here. And Tigers have it as they go from left to right. Silos to Charles Brua. That's a hard tackle. And Brua is going to get, I believe, the yellow card. So Brua action. Yeah, so Charles Brua will get the yellow card. And a free kick. Looks like it will be George West on the near side in Tiger territory. Will that is towards the far side of the box, headed around, and there's a shot that is cleared out and knocked away. A goal kick for the Tigers upcoming. The clock is correct now in 52nd minute, 3-1 our score. Toreros had 2 saves, the Tigers had 1. Still impressive, 6 shots for the Tigers. The Toreros didn't get a shot off until about the 43rd minute. Brady Graff right on the middle of the field, get it towards the Mo, and Mo has it taken away. Foul on Silos. Or by Silos, I should say. And so the Toreros will take it. They will come onto the near side. Taken away for a moment. Aaron Frey was deep into Tiger territory. Madukwe in the lineup for the Toreros as well. Charles Van Way, Paul Zer. I believe I saw also Aaron Frey, Ryan Herg warming up. That is taken away, a 3-on-3 opportunity here. Well, just as I was about to say that, Mo had it taken away. And the Toreros will take it. Van Way and right towards Bondre as it was hooking towards the near post. Cooper Riley has it cleared right towards Sather. Sather back of the head was looking for Orendane. Was the nearest Tiger near it. That pass will come towards Van Way. Van Way against Mo. Mo puts his hands behind his back. Jose Angel Reyes takes it away. And Sather slips with a nice job. Sather staying with it. And looking for Brady Graff. Backing it off. Gets it to CJ. Charles Brua. Now to Silos and to Mo. Mo had an opportunity to get to Jose Angel Reyes. Goes inside. Flips it up to Sather, and that's going to be offsides. Coaching staff for the Toreros, Brian Quinn, was pretty much screaming to get going, get play. That is cleared towards Barry, and Rappaport takes it away. We'll get it towards Coop on the far side. Coach Adam Reeves giving instructions to Silos that he needed to go forward, not backward. Well, now he'll go ahead and go forward, and on the far side, that is an attempt towards Orendane. Graff winds up with it at his feet. Nice tackle by Silos. And it'll be Van Way on the near side. Mo with the deflection. And now Barry will go inside. That'll be deflected off of the foot of CJ. That might have gone off the head. And offsides was called.
Hey! You yelled at us for the throw-in.
Frey on the far side, across the box, deflected. Frey heads it forward. Little back and forth action. And Mo with a high kick puts it in the air towards Graff. Jose Angel Reyes has that knocked away. And Ryan Herr will come in for Brady Graff.
Returning to the pitch for the Tigers, number 3, Ryan
Graff
Herr.
put in solid minutes. And head coach Adam Reeves has already told Graff to stay warm. He's going to come back in here I would expect to see him probably back in the next 15 to 20 minutes, give or take. That is headed by Sather backwards and moving it back was Madukwe. Now Frey looking for Van Way. Silos handles it at his feet and will take possession over for the Tigers. He'll get it to Cooper Riley over on the far side. Now to Rappaport. Rappaport will swing it to Brua. Brua towards Sather. Sather receives that chest high. Gets it taken by Ryan Herr. Herr on the far side. Now that's Orendane. Orendane had a chance and was actually had it taken away. Now that'll get cleared. And finally a handball called by the referee. Last two times these two teams met was in San Diego. I don't want to catch the exact date, but it was a 2-1 victory for the Toreros, and it was October 28th. So about 368 days ago, 369 if you want to include today. The Toreros beat the Tigers 2-1. All time, Tigers, this is the sixth matchup against the Toreros, and the Tigers are 2-3. Herr stays with it, goes inside, and back outside. Still with it, actually. And a pass towards Jonathan Rico Contreras and Jose Angel Reyes over towards the far side. Keeper Weir keeps it over to Van Way. Van Way with a little bit of a hip check. And Charles Brua just clears it out for a throw in for the Toreros. Toreros applying a lot of pressure. We're in the 60th minute. And a throw in comes into West. Jose Angel Reyes falls down, and West goes inside. Silos just clears it. For another throw in for the Toreros. Towards the middle of the box. That will go off the foot of Charles Brua, but Bondre is still right there, was able to scoop it up. Toreros now at 4 shots. They only had 1 in that first half, so their intensity has definitely picked up. Throw in will come in for the Tigers right at midfield on the far side. Tigers 6 shots, 2 saves, 1 corner kick, while the Toreros are at 4 shots, 2 saves, 2 corner kicks. Brua, we'll see the pass at midfield. Jonathan Rico Contreras with a nice move, faked outside, went inside, still with it. There's going to be a foul. Jonathan Rico Contreras goes down. To see there's plenty of Tigers over there. There's Mo, Rico, Herr, and Sather. Would not be surprised if Herr's going to be probably the guy as Rico and Mo have both backed off. Actually, it's Sather with a shot and a goal for the Tigers. Matthias Sather, the junior from Norway, gets the Tigers their 4th goal this evening. And they lead 4-1.
Tiger goal scored by number 10, Matthias Sather. Goals on a free kick unassisted.
And for Sather, double checking. That's his first goal of the season. And I believe it's his first collegiate goal as a Tiger. A nice tackle by Saylor will get the possession back to the Tigers. Jose Angel Reyes gets it to her. Her faked inside and actually lost the handle of it. And the foul will be called. Her will get up slowly. Along with catching the number, it was actually Ross Meldrum that collided it with.
Hey, hold on. Monty, what do you think's coming? Go help us there.
That is lifted, and that will be Bondre. So impressively, 5 goals this evening. Mo on the far side. Anthony Orndane had a chance. Tariq Branch will come in for the Tigers. So getting some fresh legs in there. We'll see who he replaces here in just a moment.
Stay inside, Mo. Stay inside. Go find the second. Go find the second.
Brua had it for a moment. Taken away by the Toreros as they come on the near side. Van Way gets it to West. West will swing it back to the far side. Lander towards, looks like that was pulls there. Taken away by Mo. Mo to her. And Anthony Orndane gets it to Weir. Still on the backside. Orndane had a chance and Madukwe got it away towards the Toreros. Tigers take it back. Charles Brua. Jose Angel Reyes. Jose Angel Reyes once again go inside. Foul will be a couple of players are talking as Jose Angel Reyes was fouled once again. The sophomore from Whittier, California. Silos go right at the top of the circle, and we'll swing it around towards Coop. Coop will go inside, get it to Silos, to Mo. Mo to Silos. And then on the far side was Coop for a minute. And now it'll be Silos. We'll try and get it inside. Jose Angel Reyes to Orndane. Orndane across the box. Just too far. And Tariq Branch will come in. Anthony Orndane will get a big break. And Tariq Branch will take Orndane's spot. Weir will play it in. Looking for Barry, headed by the Toreros, and then Barry finally will settle it at his feet. That kind of bounced off the arm of Jose Angel Reyes. Barry, with a little bit of a push, continues the possession for the Toreros. Goes underneath the feet, and then taken away by Tariq Branch for just for a second. Now it'll go back towards the corner, across the box, and headed away by Rappaport. 66-minute Tigers lead 4-1. Corner kick will be on the near side. That is lifted and headed for a moment. Toreros still with the pressure. Will clear it out. Madukwe right at the circle. We'll get it to Van Way. A couple of Toreros will come in. Polzera being one of them. That is in the air, and that will be cleared out. Offsides will be the call on the Toreros. So the free kick is played, and on the near side, it will be Jonathan Rico Contreras who go on to the far side. Tariq Branch just had a chance, and it was played off of him. Clock will be stopped. And I think Tariq Branch is going to have a discussion. In the meantime, two players will come in for the Toreros. Polzera, as well as Pedro Andrade. Couple of players converge, but Tigers wind up with it. Cooper Riley on the near side, on the far side. As he tried to charge in, backed off. We'll try and swing it. Jonathan Rico Contreras will get it to Tariq Branch on the far side. He has an opportunity. That is over. And almost Tariq Branch, after Weir kind of got a little bit out of position, the redshirt sophomore from Irvine, California, kind of gambled a little bit, got out of position, and I think that actually played off a little bit to where Tariq Branch thought he had a chance and wound up just going a little too far to his left. Andrade, back it off to West. Tigers will have a substitution as Avery Whipple will come in. Silos. Back it off, it'll be Aaron Frey. Across the box, headed away by Charles Brua. Mo sells it at his feet. No whistle, and the play continues. Mo goes down. Mo and Van Way. Van Way actually receives a pass, goes inside. Backs it off to West, and Madukwe. Looks like he's going to replace, Whipple will replace Mo. Madukwe, a little bit of a lofting opportunity, will get it towards the far side of the box, taken away by Coop. And settled by Ryan Herr. And Herr goes down in a little bit of a heap. And a player's down for the Toreros. Just for a moment. Diego Villapadua, I should say, will be coming in just a moment as well. Charles Brua backs off. Left a little bit of a divot in the grass. 2 games have been played in the last 2 nights. You kind of start to wonder what the field is going to take over less than a 24-hour span. Charles Brua. But yeah, the women's soccer team played here last night and tonight. Now it's the men's soccer team. Sather with it, backs it off, gets it to Jose Angel Reyes. And Charles Brua will shift it over for the Tigers towards the far side. Jonathan Rico Contreras right at the circle. A little give and go. Finally It'll be Silos to Mo, back to Silos, and Brua to Silos. I was thinking that they were going to have a long pass. Silos has a lot of room. We'll go ahead and get it to Mo. Mo towards a back heel kick. Mo. And that is cleared out. And now the Tigers will have the subs. Mo will sit down. And Coop will have a seat. I like what Cooper just did right there. He actually came over towards his other teammates, the guys that have been on the back line with him all night, Charles Brua and Emery Rappaport, and kind of gave him high fives as he was walking off the field. Not sure if that's going to be the end of his night, but it's just the fact that just of what he kind of just exuberated just right there. Matthew Berry on the near side, backs it off. A couple of Tigers converged on him. Van Way to Berry, and actually goes underneath. And I think Berry kind of five-holed himself, and he's been frustrated all night long. So Jose Angel Reyes in the 73rd minute will throw it in. Nice throw in. And over the back of Sather. Play resumes once again. Van Way backs it to Polzer, and Polzer will swing it across to Lander. Lander in towards the middle of the field. Takes it away by Tariq Branch. Branch. A little bit of room. And a yellow card is going to be issued. The yellow card issued to Henry Lander. Didn't really see what he did. I mean, maybe the tackle is.
Yellow card issued to the Toreros, number 4, Henry.
Either way, Tigers now
in the 74th minute.
Deep in Torero territory, I should say about midway through Torero territory. And Ryan Herr on the far side will do the free kick. Two-man wall for the Toreros. 3 players in the backfield for the Tigers is going to be Rappaport and Brua. That is a nice kick right at the top of the box and over towards the far side. And looks like that was, I believe that was Lander that actually cleared it out. Tigers still wind up with it. Play resumes. Another Tigers, Adam Reeves wanted another call that did not go his way. Ethan Bondre will wait for Barry to come over and basically force him to scoop up the ball. Tigers wind up coming towards midfield to Silos. Jose Angel Reyes. Jonathan Rico Contreras on the near side. A little bit ahead of steam. Look for Herr. He even kind of pointed at Ryan Herr as he was leaving. He's like, I tried to intend that one for you. Jonathan Rico Contreras backs it off. He looked to try to find Silos. Winds up at the feet of Polzer for the Toreros. Outlet pass to Barry. Barry was kind of taken off his path by Silos. A good heads-up play by Silos for a moment. Across the box, that is cleared away. And Jose Angel Reyes gets it, tried to clear it for a second. Van Way winds up with it and catch the number right quick. It was West that was thinking that it was going to play a little bit further outside, and the pass went too long. And now a throw-in stoppage of the clock once again. That's Silos went down. Mo comes in, and Silos will actually give up the captain's band. He'll give it to Jonathan Rico Contreras. Rico, I always talk about it, and I admire his spirit and his attitude and the way he enjoys, comes at every day, just having fun. And so he will take the captain's band. The throw-in goes towards Sather. So Mateus Sather will drop the ball, and a throw in will come in towards Polzer. Polzer goes inside. And Polzer went down kind of awkwardly on his back. Will get up. And the foul in Tiger territory. Yellow card issued to Mo. And Polzer will take the free kick. Brady Polzer, the senior from Germany.
Yellow card issued to the Tigers, number 11, Mo Kamisasanuki, the 76.
Marmion. And across towards the far post, the back post, will be Ethan Bondre that will reach up and grab it. Rappaport try to juke inside. Toreros know that they have to hustle and get things going. We've now hit the 77th minute. Toreros on the attack. And that's going to be a PK. I think it's going to be a penalty kick. Clock is now officially stopped.
Penalty kick awarded to the Toreros.
Miguel Berry will be the one that will do it. Miguel Berry with the kick. And the goal for the Toreros. And that will make it 4-2 for Berry.
Penalty kick is good by number 9, Miguel Berry.
In the 77th minute.
Goal came in the 77th minute.
And this score is 4-2, so 6 goals tonight. By both sides. And for Berry, that is his 14th goal of the season. Berry, the senior from Poway, California. Coaching staff. So it'll be a throw in for the Toreros. The coaching staff for the Toreros wanted the clock to be stopped, but was listening to the referee, and he said the ball went out. There's no advantage. That is going towards the box, top of the box. Toreros stay with it. Mo misplayed it. West at the top, and we'll go and swing it around to Madukwe. Line drive kick towards the near post. Will go too far, and a goal kick coming up for the Tigers, who will back everyone off, is Ethan Bondre. Derek Roque comes in at the next chance for the. It's going to replace Mateus Sather. That is lifted towards Sather, actually. We'll go inside and we'll push it out towards Tariq Branch. Backing it off towards Rappaport. And a pass to Jonathan Rico Contreras, a 5-hole player for the Toreros. And then it's Van Way that winds up with it across the box. Headed by the Toreros. Finally, Ryan Herr and Sather comes. Needs to push the pressure for the on the Toreros, I should say. couple of Toreros will come in. Van Way gives it to Frey. And the Toreros on the attack. Lines up to Jonathan Rico Contreras. Jose Angel Reyes looking for Mo. Knocked away, out of play, and it'll go towards the Tigers, for the Tigers. Throw-in upcoming will be Derek Roque. Jose Angel Reyes will throw it in. And the Tigers and Toreros, plethora of subs coming in, including Amit Heffer, Derek Roque across the box, and blocked and headed out of bounds, out of play by the Toreros. So it'll be a corner kick on the far side. Well, it'll be Mo that will take the corner kick on the far side. Which was surprising because Her's been the guy that's really been doing most of them. That is a line drive that is deflected, and it was Tariq Branch that had the best shot at it. Goal kick upcoming. It'll be Weir that will quickly get it in play. Heffer. Chest high pass. Winds that pulls there. Back to Heffer on the near side. One-on-one against Jose Angel Reyes. This one's lofted, and Ethan Bondre takes it away. So just over 9 minutes remaining, and a drop kick by Bondre comes towards the Toreros side, which is where Frey was occupying. Frey will get it towards Van Way. Van Way will dribble it forward and get it to Pulzer. Pulzer against Jonathan Rico Contreras. Pulzer stays with it right at midfield. And then on the far side, Toreros on the attack. A line drive shot right at Bondre. Bondre scoops it up, and they'll get his third save of the evening. Rappaport. It's towards Derek Roque, who matched up against the Toreros and is headed a couple of times in the air, finally settled at the feet. I believe that was Van Way. On the near side is Heffer. Heffer across towards the box. That's dangerous. Taken away. The Tigers wind up with it. That's Graff. To Her. Her backs it out. Toreros take it back. Heffer to Barry. Still on that near side. And it's going to be a handball called. Tigers lead this one 4-2. We're in the 83rd minute. Tigers 7 shots, 3 saves, 2 corner kicks. For the Toreros, it's 7 shots, 2 saves, 2 corner kicks. Looks like we're going to have another sub as Alex Chernis will come in. He will praise Pedro Andrade. Graff. Jose Angel Reyes. Actually, that was Derek Roque. Had a chance. Taken away by the Toreros. Pulzer had his hand up in the air. He wanted the pass. He wound up going to the far side, so the complete opposite of where he was standing. And the Tigers will get some of their regular starters back in here, including Anthony Orndane and Cooper Riley. Pulls air. Once again, hands up high in the air, jumping around, wanted the pass, finally got it. Winds up now going towards Heifer. Heifer to Van Way. That is blocked out of play by Jonathan Rico Contreras, and it'll be a corner kick upcoming. Anthony Orndane will replace Tariq Branch.
Pressure on the ball.
That is headed, cleared out by Graff. Out of play. Last touch by the Tigers. Toreros will throw it in. Throw in, deep throw in actually on the far side post. Side. Toreros wind up still with it. Pushed forward by Frey. Graff cuts inside. Pushes it towards Tariq Branch. Probably not a bad option though. Branch might have pushed too far and might have put Roque on offsides. That is cleared out by Weir. Settled right at the feet of Brua. Brua did a good job just keeping it alive, and then Jose Angel Reyes will just push it backwards. Heifer has to charge back to go get it. 86th minute. 4-2 our score. That one is towards Barry. Jose Angel Reyes. Clear it forward. Her winds up at his feet after Van Way kind of deflected it. It's actually Avery Whipple that actually cleared it towards the far side. Toreros take it. Pulls air to Heifer and almost had it to Van Way. Mo to Roque. And the Toreros will go to the far side. Tigers running a four-man defensive back with Brua, Rappaport, Jose Angel Reyes, and I believe Whipple as well. I had to play it a little bit differently after Haralambos went down. Pulls there. Goes inside. To Van Way. That is headed by the defense and cleared out by Tariq Branch. It's again cleared towards Van Way. Jose Angel Reyes, then it'll go to Heifer. Actually, will taken away by Mo. Pulls air. Van Way. And that will go out of play on the 88th minute. Anthony Orndane will replace Derek Roque.
Tiger substitution. Returning for the Tigers, number 22, Anthony Orndane.
So this senior will play the final couple of minutes here. Clock did stop after the sub. I think they're going to change the time on the clock to, was that originally read 87:14. They're going to give back 7 seconds. So 87:07 is the time to be exact. Headed off of Torero. Anthony Orndane was also in play. Orndane, actually, the first time I've actually seen him with his hair the way it is. He usually will play with he has a little bit of a longer hair, shoulder length, but will play with it up. And I think the band might have broke that he usually has it, so it's now being a chance to see him play with the more of the long hair. Is on the Toreros on the far side. It's towards the box. Handball wanted, not granted, cleared out by Brua, and the only one there was Tariq Branch. Van Way takes it away. Far side blocked. And last touch by the Toreros. So the Tigers will have a goal kick. And the crowd actually, the more I watched, the crowd actually really started to file in about the second half of their evening. Minute and a half left to play. Ethan Bondre. A nice kick that will go right towards the Toreros side of the circle. Ryan Herr winds up with it. Herr still with a little bit of speed will go ahead and clear it towards the near side. We'll back it off. And last touched by the Toreros. A throw in for the Tigers. Jose Angel Reyes will throw it in. Herr backs it off once again. The 3-on-3 winds up Jose Angel Reyes. Now maybe just play a little bit more keep away. Jose Angel Reyes knocked down. Four Toreros collide. So it'll be weird that will do the free kick off the handball, and that will be out of play. Throw in for the Tigers. Now the Tigers need to get this thrown in here real quick. They will throw it in, and it will land at the feet of Jonathan Rico Contreras. Tariq Branch. And he'll just boot it in the air so that way nothing else will happen. So the Tigers will win this one, and they will improve to 5-9-1, while the Toreros will fall to 10-5-1. And a couple of players from the Toreros kind of sitting on the ground and feeling just had a tough task. And, you know, when it comes to West Coast Conference play, all bets are off. But we'll get you caught up on the scoring recap. It was a 4-2 victory for the Tigers. And Emery Rappaport got his first collegiate goal. And that was off of a corner kick sent off by Ryan Herr on the far side as they were going from right to left. And Derek Roque headed it right towards the center of the box, and that's when Emery Rappaport got the goal. Ryan Herr got his first career goal as well, and that was in the 11th minute. And then Derek Roque would get his third goal. Kama Sasanuki would be on the assist. That would end the first half. The Tigers were up 3-0, and at that time, the Toreros only had one shot in the second half. The Toreros would get a goal. Chernus would get a goal on the season, and Marmion would get the assist. Speaking of getting first collegiate goals, and it was Sather for the Tigers. Mateus Sather would get the goal. And on the 77th minute, it was, Miguel Berry. That was on a PK, penalty kick. And that would wrap up our scoring. A final score of 4-2. For the Toreros, after this one, they're going to go ahead and go home on November 9th. They will welcome Portland into San Diego. And for the Tigers, they will go on the road. And the next time that we will see them is November 16th at 7 o'clock for the Tigers Senior Day against Gonzaga. Matthew Fortney was the Sports Information Director on site for today's event. I want to thank him and his entire table crew. They did a great job of keeping me up to date on everything that I needed to know. Michael January is the video coordinator and director for this event. Does a great job. Him and his crew do a great job every time. And for myself, Jeff Dominic, I want to thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. The final score for the final time, the Tigers win this one over the Toreros by a score of 4-2. That was here from Knowles Field in Stockton, California on the campus of the University of Pacific. Have a great night, everyone, from the WCC Network.